How many times have you made a build for NBA 2K to later regret it? Today, we're going to make the build, redoing my build from the original release and giving you guys the final boss of the game, basically. It is a menace defensively and offensively, and I can't believe I did it. It's a small guard who pretty much is unstoppable. And the main thing I want to kind of premise as you watch some highlights from it is that I have the alternate version, which I made the first week of the game. But today you're watching the brand new version, which is even more optimized than ever. So while I wasn't wrong, because players lost a lot of money going against this build in tournaments, wagers, and I also won some tournaments with this original version of the build. And now with this new version, I think people are going to be unstoppable. And I promise if you follow this, you will be too. All right. So lock in. We're going to have a lot of fun just discussing 2K and kind of teaching you some things as we go. This is supposed to be a deep dive into the builds for season 4. It's going to be helpful with the small guard breakdown information for you guys. Okay, so lock in as we go forward. I'm not going to sit in the builder for very long. If you're watching in the highlights, you see right here, it is a point guard 6'2", and then the wingspan 6'3". Pause the video, save it, bookmark it, get a notepad, and then lock this in. It's very important that it's the exact same because you can't get the exact attributes. All right, a lot of people be confusing this, but we're not going to go through the whole build, but I just want to mention there's cap breakers in mind. So driving dunk at 81 lets you put 2 cap breakers to get it to 89. Then you're going to have the 3-pointer at a 99 with 5 cap breakers right there. And that's the start of your build. It's contact dunks and amazing shooting. Free throws, usually I like this at 99 competitively wise, but 85 is my very comfortable rate where I hit, hardly miss. So I feel really good with that. You get speed with ball and ball handle at 89. You can put cap breakers here. We'll talk about that when I showcase the build. And then passing at 85. Specifically, it is the best threshold to be able to generally be a good point guard. When you put it higher, which you should at 92 or so, you can get even crisper pass and specific badges and animations that are top tier, but we're not going to do that for now. Then interior is a 60 and block is at 59. That's as high as it goes, but this is super necessary, those two, to help you contest when they're trying to dunk on you. And at the 3-pointer, block is very necessary. Speaking of 3-pointers, perimeter defense is going to go to 92 with cap breakers. You're going to be good, trust me. And then steals. Right now it's at 81, but it's going to go up to 91. Put 3 cap breakers in there. You don't need to put 3. You can put 1 and it'll go to 85. And that's way more than enough for a point guard build to be able to get interceptions and plugs. Okay. You're not going to worry about rebounds. And then speed is at 89, agility at 80. These are giving you badges. Okay. And you need those badges, top tier stuff. And then vertical also, you can get this to an 78 so that you can basically do contact dunks, but I like it at 80 just to be able to jump higher for blocks, rebounds, and so on. Okay, here we go. We're going to show you the build, the shades of, Tyrese Maxey is having a hell of a year. Personally, this is kind of like a Kyrie, Dwayne Wade slashing, Kobe Bryant, all types of players in one. 2-way, 3-point hunter. Let's go into the build. So this is the final product of the build. You put 2 cap breakers on dunks and you got it to the 89. You put 5 for 3-pointer, you're good. You put 2 into speed with ball, you get it to 91, which gives you lightning launch on Hall of Fame. You can max +2 that. Then the good stuff. You got a 92 perimeter with this build, and you get an 85 steal. But if you put 2 cap breakers, you can get it to 91, which gives you insane steals. Okay. And then everything else is standard. Now, the only thing that you need to do if you really want to get a behind the back animation, that's all that you're missing. And you don't need it, okay? And I'm gonna just talk about that right away. These are the animations that I'm using at the moment, but I toy with these and I change them all the time, so don't even bother. The main thing I would put on is Walker, and then for escape, I put that on, and then I also have my behind the back Cody, but I've been playing around with others. This is a secret weapon here, just fooling around with some stuff. That being said, the only thing you are missing is the Curry, guys. And you're like, oh man, Curry, that's the best one. Why don't you have it? Guess what? I love Curry, and he's one of my favorite players of all time. It's a 92. You don't need it, okay? It's not the end of the world. You can still cook up, but we'll get into that in a minute. The reason I bring that up is that's the only flaw in the build that people will say. And you can put those with cap breakers. And guess what? I don't have a lot of cap breakers. It might look like it's a pretty good number, but I only played this account on season 1, and I got all the way up to starter 4, almost starter 5. And then I did get to starter 5 this season. Okay. So basically only played season 1 and a little bit of season 4. And I already got to start 5. So you're capable of doing this in a week if you wanted to, if you were grinding, you know what I mean? With that in mind, the 3 cap breakers, I still need one from my crew. Still need one from the lifetime achievements, which I'm almost there, 200. And then of course, you know, you can get another one from the season or whatever. So there's ways to get them, and the build will end up getting that if I wanted it there, but I might not put it there because I don't need it. I'm just gonna put it in steals, two in steals, and then have a 91 and go crazy defensively. And the build is a monster, I promise. And then for badges, I like to put on ball menace if I'm gonna guard ball and I don't have a lockdown and I'm just casually playing. But if I'm not on ball, this doesn't go here. I start switching it up, maybe put challenger higher. I can put other things in here, posterizer, just kind of be more crazy with the build. And see, I don't have my specializations, so that's a whole nother conversation. All right. And the only thing that people will mention and that it is a weakness is the unpluckable. That's why you need a 92. That's the only reason I will put it on with some cap breakers in the near future. Once I start grinding more cap breakers, I can put that up and get this to gold. But I like to use this right here. Put this up to Hall of Fame. Honestly speaking, on gold, I literally I don't get plucked. It literally can't pluck me unless just a true lockdown, hardcore zone defense and I'm playing professionally. On these other levels, like regular teams, they basically don't give me a hard time. And so that's the build. Of course, specialization, the reason for this is for that unpluckable. And you can boost this up and you can boost passing and anything you want on the build with that specialization. Takeover, I specifically put perimeter defense and block. Remember, you're a small guard. You don't need any shooting or passing or dribbling. You got all that and finishing. All you want to do is have better perimeter, better block, in my opinion. And that gives it to you right here. I have speed with ball just for the heck of it, but those are the 2 main things you would want to put. We talked about the animations. I showcased what they do, how they look. I'll give you the jumper. This is a unique jumper. Normally, as you can see, Patty Mills. Then I have Quentin Grimes. And then the one that I'm using now, which is a new one for season 4 I started using, is Allen Iverson. And the reason for this is I can button shoot and rhythm shoot comfortably with this. There's something about the visual for me. Remember, not everybody feels the same. If you're gonna try a new jumper that somebody says is the best, all these YouTubers, basically you need to play with it for a week or 2 and then decide. Because if you can't get comfortable with it in a day, that doesn't make it good or bad. Don't ever listen to these YouTubers. They be making up videos every week. This is the best jumper. It's like, bro, you didn't even play with it for more than 2 days, an hour, and you're making a video about it. Cut it out. All right. And then for dunks, you only need the contact dunks. I have off 1, which is way better dunks animations. And then I also have Fox, Zach, and John Morant as my dunks that I use. And I love these because they're super aggressive from Monk, Jalen Green, and Anthony Edwards at the moment. These for small guards, you really be cooking. But you got to know how to dunk. If you don't know how to dunk crazy, you only need like one package, and you got to get used to being able to dunk with it. Okay, that's the build. This build is outrageous. All right, and you saw some highlights. Now we're going to switch over to the second build, which is the original one that I made when the game launched. This one is the best. Like, you know, there's thousands upon thousands of dollars already won because of this build. And it is a template now, because I originally made it when the game first came out the first day. And people were like, I don't know about that build. That thing could be trash. And it's like, cool, man, we'll see. And, you know, you'll watch these highlights where people just can't guard me, and I'm just toying with people, literally having fun. But played in tournaments and won. And then other people played with the build and won as well. You have to be an elite shooter and playmaker, because that's what this build is about. It's literally unstoppable on all regards, and it is disrespectfully good. Okay, but it's almost the exact same as the one you just saw. There's only a minor tweak that you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I see what you did there. And it's a big tweak because it makes a big difference in what your build is capable of, right? And basically, defensively, you're not supposed to guard a pick and roll with this build. The previous one, you can basically guard a pick and roll and be very reliable. With this one, you need a lockdown for guarding pick and rolls a lot, okay? Because it is very limited defensively, okay? And so as you can see in the background, a lot of great footage. I'm blocking people, getting steals, you know, I'm clamping people up, all types of stuff, you know, just pretty insane. And now I'm going to show you the difference. And the main thing you want to notice is defensively. I got no steals, my interior is a little low, and my perimeter is not at 92, it's at 82. 82 gives you challenger at a higher rate, and you can actually just use max plus ones or twos to buff that up. Okay, so I can put challenger on Hall of Fame on this build for a small 6 footer 6'2". You're able to do that, which I am going to do right here once I get my specializations. But I do like unpluckable when I'm playing professionally, like hardcore players. All right, that's that. And this build is so fire, like I promise you, everything else about it is even better. So pass at 92, you basically get Tyrese Maxey plus visionary and all the boosts to your badges for passing, super solid. And then your ball handle is at 92, so you get that Curry slide. That's the only thing that's missing from that other build. If I put 3 cap breakers, I'll get it up there. Again, cap breakers are pretty easy to get this year, okay? If you don't have any, that means you don't like the game, so go play something else. Then have this at 94 speed with ball. The reason for that is I am actually capable of not using any max plus ones and twos for the most part for my dribbles or shooting. So all my max plus ones and twos will end up being defensive in the long run. Okay, so that's how that works. And I actually could have put this on a defensive build to make my defense even crazier, but I have it on playmaking because I wanted unpluckable on legend. So that means in here I'll go with challenger, for example, and we'll put something else like on-ball menace. I'm not going to guard ball, but having that could be good. There's different ways you could play it on what you're feeling, how you want to go. Those are the 2 main ones that I would put on if I want to be a better defender, stay in front of people in the game. Okay, and you should have more cap breakers than me because my crew's not even done. We're almost there. But that's the rundown. And again, with my takeover perimeter defense, that's all that I put on there. Animation wise, this is the true animations. The only difference from the other one that I'm missing is the Curry slide, which needs a 92 to get. Okay, that's literally it. It's the only one that I'm missing. Everything else I switch up and change a bunch, but I'm not missing anything that's important. Okay, still using different dribble styles and fooling around with it and going forward. This is the traditional jumper that I had on, and one of the ones that I really liked. when I first started the year, and a lot of people have been using it, I've heard. Shout out to everybody who, you know, runs it up. But that's it. And then, you know, that build, as you saw in the highlights, can cook offensively, defensively. It's going to guard corner, and if it does have to guard ball, it's going to have a hard time sticking with the pick and roll. But other than that, you can still contest very well. You have decent defense, you know, enough to stay in front of somebody and contest. You're not going to be trying to get steals like crazy. You can still block at times when necessary. Remember, 2K's blocking system isn't always about the attributes. It's about positioning and things like that, and timing on your jumps. So remember, I get those blocks even as a 6'2". Remember, both these builds are the same height, same weight, basically. Nothing changed on them outside of the playmaking stuff, where I buffed up the playmaking on this version of that build. So it is all good, baby. Now, I do want to mention one more thing, and, you know, back to the original build is, you know, I would make the original build because that one lets me play defensively better. Like, I'm more capable. I feel way more comfortable guarding pick and rolls, guarding, you know, on ball, rather than trying to be off ball. So, but that's more casual, because a professional scene, if you got the juggernaut build, you're capable of just cooking everybody. So it's a preference thing to a certain extent on what you're comfortable with and what you're feeling like is going to work and be the best overall. So that's that. Now, besides that, I will say this, you know, season's almost over. You don't need to make any more builds, man. I'm not recommending you to make them or not make them. I like making the videos just to talk about it and kind of get into what I've been feeling or enjoying a lot lately. So just to give you a quick rundown on some things, I basically have played season 1 a lot, probably like 600 hours, and got to start a 4, almost start a 5. And then I've been playing on a different account to play in tournaments and leagues and stuff like that, doing a bunch of stuff in there with that. And so it's a different game for me, 2 different games. When I play casually, you have to have a little bit of everything because teammates don't rotate. You have to be able to do everything for your team. It's unfortunate, but that's how random rec or, you know, casual play is. Versus when you're playing elite, it's like you're a specialist at what you do. Good, I'm gonna go do what I do, whether I'm center with 99 rebound and strength, and whether I'm, you know, point guard with like the one you saw. But the new optimized one is so crazy where it's really doing well. The only thing that I would tweak, like I said, the pass would be something you would have to sacrifice a lot of the build to get at that rate. And there's nothing wrong with doing that if you want. I said higher pass means you're more elite playmaker, you know? But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed. Hope you have fun checking this breakdown out. We have a bunch of stuff. I've recorded a ton of stuff. I just haven't hit publish on them. I'm gonna be real with y'all. But we'll see. Season 4 is here. I've been playing a lot. Hope y'all enjoyed. Catch y'all on the next one. Take care. Peace.